Emotions are perplexing. Do you ever find yourself questioning why you're happy, sad, anxious, or excited? Where do all these feelings come from? And how do they surface up enough for us to determine what we're feeling? As human beings, we've always felt emotions. The first thing we do when we're born into this world is to cry, after all. In this book, the author tries to uncover how exactly emotions are made, and why they vary a lot. Here are the top 7 lessons from How Emotions Are Made by LISA FELDMAN BARRETT. Lesson 1. Finding the source. The classical view of emotions claims that emotions can be determined through different signals from the body. This means that people usually smile when they're happy, scrunch up their forehead when they're mad, and start crying when they feel sad. The same view also believes that emotions are signaled by one part of the brain. Barrett would beg to differ. In the numerous experiments the author conducted, she found out that not everyone shows emotions the same way. Some may say that they feel different when they are sad versus when they're anxious, but another person may lump the two emotions together. Everyone reacts differently to emotions. Another discovery the author made was that not all emotions are sourced in the brain's amygdala. Although it was activated when people felt anger, disgust, and happiness, the amygdala was also active in non-emotional circumstances, such as when someone was making a decision or studying. Lesson 2. Constructing emotions. Everyone has their different reactions and emotions. When someone is approached by a dog, they could either feel happy or feel scared. Or when a baby smiles at someone, it's either they feel genuinely amazed or baffled. We react differently to certain stimuli and events because our brain combines and produces diverse feelings depending on our past experiences. There is a variety of emotions we may feel, and different ingredients comprise certain feelings. Since emotions are recipes, our brains can be seen as a kitchen filled with ingredients needed to make anything. Lesson 3. Picking up interoceptive sensations. Our brains are stuck inside our heads. They can't really jump out and experience the world for us. Instead, our brain relies on pieces of information inside and outside of our bodies. The constant work happening in our bodies, such as digestion, heartbeats, and breathing, are called interoceptive activities. These are what our brains pick up on and become the basis of our emotions. These interoceptive sensations are where our brains derive our best and worst feelings. Lesson 4. Making predictions. To make predictions, our brain has 2 regions in the interoceptive network. The first one is the body budgeting region. This is the region that's in charge of regulating our body. It tells us when we're thirsty or when the adrenal gland needs to release a bit of cortisol for a boost of energy. Then the next region is the primary interoceptive cortex. This usually represents the feelings we have in our body, like the pounding feeling in our chest. Together, these 2 regions regulate our body. Since our brain is so used to our interoceptive network, it can usually distinguish when something's wrong or missing, and in turn make a prediction to make everything better. For example, our body can even predict that our body needs energy, and it can release glucose in the bloodstream to make us feel good again. Lesson 5. Feeling effective valence and arousal. What's your general feeling when you wake up? Do you feel relaxed, maybe refreshed, or a little bit grumpy? These feelings are called affect by scientists, while the feeling of being either pleasant or unpleasant is called valence. In a nutshell, this is the general feelings one experiences through the day, and isn't technically an emotion. And when one feels discomfort when the sun is too hot, or feels slightly crabby because of a stomachache, this is what scientists call affective valence. Another feature of affect is arousal, which is how calm or agitated a person is. Affective valence and arousal are important features of humans, because they also have an effect on our daily decisions. Our general mood at a moment in time can determine whether we react positively or negatively to certain situations. For example, it was discovered that judges were more likely to deny parole to a prisoner before lunchtime. But the judges would grant parole more frequently after eating. Simply put, we're very likely to treat affect as information about the world instead of our experience. The brain is an easily manipulated organ, which can believe anything depending on how pleasant, calm, or unpleasant, agitated we are. Lesson 6. Depending on culture. What we fail to notice sometimes is that culture plays a large role in who we become. We react, feel, and act in various ways because of it. For instance, Westerners would be surprised to find out that the Ukta Eskimos don't get angry, or Tahitians don't have any concept of sadness. In fact, different cultures have different emotions. Basically, our emotions are constructed based on what we learn through our society and environment. It's subjective and changes its shape and form depending on the culture. We can't really compare emotions to physical events like a change in our blood pressure or a drop in our blood sugar. For most people, shaking their heads means no, but in Indian culture, shaking one's head means yes. It's all in the culture. Lesson 7. Starting at birth. We learn about emotions at our earliest age, even at birth. For example, where exactly do we get the concept of awe? Sometimes we're awed by beautiful sceneries, or awed by certain persons who accomplish amazing feats. We can't even be awed by ourselves. To the classical view, the feeling of awe is something innate to human beings, much like one's skin color or height. But it was found that babies weren't born knowing what awe is. Instead, the newborn brain goes through a process called statistical learning. This is where infants' brains start interpreting the different sights, sounds, touches, smells, and tastes surrounding them. At first, words may just feel like a bunch of noise to babies, but as we learn and progress, we start to assign meaning to them. Plus, we don't stop learning once we age. It's an ongoing process. Through this, we can keep absorbing and understanding new emotional concepts and become better at determining emotions. In conclusion, this book shows that emotions aren't just given to us when we're born. Opposites from the classical view, our emotions are actually things we learn from daily experiences. We can pick them up from our environment, our culture, or our general feeling. As we keep experiencing new things, we begin to become better at determining and identifying our emotions. What things make you emotional? Tell me in the comments section. Thank you for listening. If you like the book summary and you want to see more in this category, please like and subscribe so I can create more. You can also get a free copy of the entire audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time.